Welcome to ForexTV.com. Today is Thursday, January 21st. I'm Kathleen Reddington with your New York Forex Market Buzz. The U.S. dollar falls to the yens, but gains on the other majors. And now for a look at the latest headlines from the CP News Desk. First time and continuing claims for unemployment benefits in the U.S. came in well above estimates on Thursday, with initial claims matching the 16-year high reached last month. Initial claims for unemployment benefits in the U.S. rose to 589,000 in the week, following an upwardly revised 527,000 claims in the prior week. Claims were forecast to come in at 543,000. The U.S. housing sector continued to show weakness in December, with housing starts and building permits sinking to new record lows. U.S. housing starts fell to an annualized pace of 550,000, representing a month-over-month decrease of 15.5%. The drop pushes the numbers of starts to a new record low dating back to 1964. And plummeting gasoline prices in November pushed Canadian retail sales into their sharpest decline since January of 1998, a month when a massive ice storm knocked out electrical power in much of eastern Canada. November retail sales fell 2.4% compared to the previous month, largely reflecting a 7.1% decline in the auto sector. Today we are joined by Greg Michalowski of FXDD. Hi Greg, how are you today?
Doing well, Kathleen. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right, so we're seeing the yen hit some record highs against the dollar. I want to know what's behind this move, and do you expect it to continue?
Yeah, we did see the dollar-yen hit the highs against the dollar. We also have been seeing, I guess, the sterling yen, euro yen going down, so the yen going up against those currency pairs. As there's been a flight into the yen as equities and the economic situations around the world get worse and worse. But today, actually, although the dollar yen is down a little bit down on the day, I'm a little bit more constructive in the price action as far as the dollar yen. I like the currency above the 88.87 level. Yesterday we saw a sharp rise off the lows, which by the way, were just 2 pips lower than the December low, the 2008 low in the dollar yen, as we saw that massive sell-off in dollar yen yesterday. So it seems like the market is trying to find a bottom in the dollar yen. There's been some muttering in the market about how Japanese exporters are over-short dollar yen as hedges, and that's as a result of less demand for their exports around the globe. And so there's actually a fundamental reason why there may be a floor down here as they cover some of their exposure from their hedges in the dollar yen. Plus, we're getting down here to rather low levels. People are talking about an 85 level being an absolute floor where the Bank of Japan might come in. We saw some comments from the Swiss National Bank yesterday, comments in regard to the sterling value from the G7, and I think the market's a little bit worried about the value of the yen with the dollar yen down at these levels. So it's cautiously bullish from my perspective, but we're watching it very closely, and certainly if we're able to stay above those low levels at 87.11, I think the market has the potential to move a little bit higher in the short term.
All right, and in my last headline, you heard me mention the Canadian retail sales numbers falling sharply. Now, the Canadian dollar is getting close to some crucial levels. What do you take on that?
I like to look at the hourly chart and put a 100-hour moving average on that on the chart. And since January 12th, the dollar Canada has been above that moving average. We've tested the line on a number of occasions, twice today actually, and once yesterday, and that level currently comes in at the 125.67 level. So if the market is able to move below that line, I think we're going to probably see some short-term correction in the dollar Canada, which has been trending up as a result of the lowering of the rate by the Bank of Canada, and also some pretty dismal comments from the central bank in regards to their economy. So the fact that today we haven't seen a new high in the dollar Canada, and that we're kind of moving toward that moving average, suggests to me that we're probably a little bit overbought in dollar Canada, and as a result, we have a chance for a correction in that currency pair.
All right, now the dollar seems to be gaining on the other majors outside of the yen, but we've seen equities fall sharply today, as well as a new high in jobless claims. Why are we seeing this difference of opinion?
Well, the stocks certainly are under pressure because of earnings. You know, we saw Microsoft's earnings come out today earlier than expected. So the equity markets are moving sharply, are lower. I mean, the economy and all the economic data that comes out is certainly to the downside, and so I don't expect any sort of miracle as far as stock prices go in the shorter term, so or even the medium term. We may get corrections here and there, but certainly if we're in a narrow, we're either consolidating and going to have up and down movements over the near term, or the bias will probably be to the downside. So that's what I'm seeing in the stock market at the moment, and the effects on the currencies, the effects on the euro, the effects on the sterling, all are related to the stories within their country. Today we saw the sterling head down first as a result of worries about the nationalization of their banks, and but since we've seen some rebound in those currency pairs, and really the story on different countries and the relative strengths or weaknesses is we're all in a bad situation. It's sort of like The Biggest Loser, that TV show. It's like, which is the biggest loser today. So we're seeing the potential for volatile sessions and movements like we saw yesterday in the afternoon in particular is certainly out there at any time, and the movements in stocks in this relation to the currency pairs, it's all just it all works together somehow, some way, but certainly the trends of the stocks is down, and the currencies can fluctuate with the economic news and really the tide, whether it's coming in or going out for that currency pair at the moment.
All right, Greg, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thanks for having me.
This has been your New York Forex Market Buzz with Greg Michalowski of FXDD. I'm Kathleen Reddington. Join us later this afternoon, 4 p.m. exchange, right here on ForexTV.com.